This stock is finally about to break out after spending more than 1 year trading sideways. In this video, I'll be sharing with you my Forum Energy Technology stock analysis and why I believe that this stock has huge potential upside. Before I share with you my analysis of Forum Energy Technology stock, if you are new to this channel, my name is Linus, and in this channel I share all things related to the stock market, so both investing and trading. If you want more videos such as this, make sure you subscribe to my channel because each week I release 2 new videos about investing, trading and the stock market. Alright, so this video will be broken down into 2 parts. So the first part we'll be taking a look at some of the fundamentals for Forum Energy Technology stock, and in the second part of the video we'll be taking a look at the price chart and my technical analysis of the stock. Alright, so let's first take a look at the fundamentals for Forum Energy Technology stock. So we'll click on this ESV dashboard over here. When it comes to trading in the stock market, I focus on these 2 fundamentals. The first is sales and the second is the earnings per share of a company. So sales is the top line number and earnings per share is the bottom line. And these are the 2 main fundamentals that I pay attention to when it comes to trading in the stock market. This is not to say that other numbers and figures are not important when it comes to evaluating the fundamentals of a company. But from my own personal experience, I believe that the sales and earnings per share of a company is what moves the needle. So sales and earnings per share is the 20% that contributes to 80% of the results. And then the other numbers and figures are the 80% that contributes only to 20% of the results. So that's the Pareto principle. And that is why when it comes to trading, I only focus on the sales and earnings per share of a company. So if we take a look at the sales and earnings per share for Forum Energy Technology stock, you see that sales and earnings per share has been increasing quarter over quarter and year over year for the past 3 quarters. So the first quarter that we take a look at is August 2021. So sales at the time was 137.42 million and it increased to 140.98 million in the next quarter, and in the most recent quarter in February 2022, we see that sales increased to 148.1 million. So we see Forum Energy Technology stock sales increasing quarter over quarter and year over year. And for earnings per share, it's the same story. We see that earnings per share increased from negative 2.66 in August 2021 to negative 2.23 in February 2022. So both the top line and the bottom line for Forum Energy Technology stock have been improving for the past 3 quarters. So that's something we want to see for the fundamentals of a stock. Now let's take a look at the price chart and the technical action of Forum Energy Technology stock. So over here you can see that the stock has been trading sideways for more than a year. So back in March 2021 and right now we are in March of 2022. And if Forum Energy Technology stock finally breaks out, we could be looking at a huge potential upside for the stock. And the reason is this: generally the longer the stock forms a base, when it finally breaks out, the greater the upside potential. So if we compare Forum Energy Technology stock to another stock who has formed a 6 months base, everything about the 2 stocks remain the same, except that the basing period for Forum Energy Technology stock is longer than the other stock. If that's the case, then Forum Energy Technology stock is likely to have a greater potential upside just because it forms a longer base. So the point is, generally, the longer the base, the greater the potential upside for the stock. But it doesn't mean that as long as a stock forms a base and a long base, then that stock has a huge potential upside. We also have to evaluate the quality of the base. Right, so it doesn't mean that as long as a stock moves and trades sideways for quite a while, it means that the stock has a huge potential upside. And if we take a look at this base that Forum Energy Technology stock has formed over the past year, we can notice a few constructive patterns setting up within the base. So the first one was at this point over here. We see that prices has undercut the previous low at this point over here and this point over here. So if we use our tool over here, you see that at this price level of around $17.30, prices have found support at this point over here and at this point over here. But if we take a look over here, prices have actually undercut the support level at the $17.30 level. But even though prices undercut the support level, prices managed to quickly go back above that support level. So what this tells us is that there's a shakeout of the wick holders. So when there's a shakeout of wick holders, this is good news for us because this means that the people who are still holding on to this stock is likely to be stronger hands. And these stronger hands tends to be institutions and the weaker hands are the retail investors. So whenever we see a shakeout in the base and prices quickly recover from the shakeout and move above that previous support level, this is a constructive pattern to pay attention to. And after the shakeout over here, we see that price managed to quickly rise above and move to the top of the base and at the resistance or the supply zone. If you don't know what a resistance level or a supply zone means, you can watch my video over here at the top right of the screen where I share with you how you can identify this resistance level and supply zones. And if we zoom in over here and take a look at this candlestick, we see that there's quite a bit of supply at this point over here. How do we know? We know that by taking a look at this candlestick over here. So if we take a look at this particular candlestick, we'll see that prices managed to reach a high of the day at this point at around $26.23. But towards the end of the day, supply came into the stock and pushed prices to close at this level. So this tells us that at this price level of around $24.81, there's quite a bit of supply and sellers willing to sell the stock at this price level. And this is natural because we have already identified that this is a resistance level and a supply zone. So whenever a stock moves to these areas, there is likely to be sellers and supply coming to the stock, which will cause prices to decline by quite a bit. And now that we know there's supply and quite a number of sellers over at this point over here, we want to see whether there are buyers to hold up prices at this area over here. And we saw that the buyers were stepping in at this point over here. So before we take a look at this candlestick, we'll take a look at the previous candlestick over here. And you'll notice that this candlestick, it indicates to us that there's sellers selling their stock in huge amounts on this day over here. How do we know? By taking a look at this huge red candlestick and on above average volume. But if we take a look at the next day, we'll notice that prices managed to find support at this 21-day moving average, and buyers were willing to support the stock at this price level over here. And we'll see that volume on this day was higher than volume on the previous day. So even though volume was high on the selling day over here, we see that on the very next day, volume was even higher than the previous trading session day. So this tells us that there are buyers willing to hold prices up at this level. And this is another constructive sign that the stock has shown when it's forming this base over here. So moving forward, if Forum Energy Technology stock is able to successfully break out from this price level of around $24.74, I might look to add my position into this stock. So a quick disclaimer over here is that this is just my own personal view and opinion of the stock, and this shouldn't be construed as financial advice. So if you're looking to buy the same stock, make sure you do your own due diligence and implement proper risk control. So that's my analysis of Forum Energy Technology stock. Hopefully you have enjoyed and learned something from this video. If you did, smash that like button because it will really help the channel grow and allow me to produce more content such as this. And if you want more weekly stock ideas and tips, make sure you join my Facebook and Telegram groups, because in those groups I share with you my weekly stock ideas, tips and market updates. And you can join those groups by clicking on the link down in the description below. I'll see you in the other videos to your financial success.